Hey, good morning and happy Wednesday. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video number 112. So check it out. Yesterday I was in the Inland Empire and I was doing a talk for about 500 people. And, it was interesting. At the end of it, I had two great questions that were asked. And the two questions were, number one, Tom, what should we be focused on in terms of business generation between now and the end of the year? And then secondly, what's one piece of advice that we should really be focused on to make sure that we are prepared and ready to make good decisions about 2010? Well, interestingly enough, when the first question came up, I said, well, let me just remind you all, we're in the lead generation business first and foremost. You know it, I know it. We've got to be finding new customers every day. We've got to be engaging new customers every day. And there's no wrong way to do it. Past clients, centers of influence, expireds, Facebook, knocking on doors, doing a direct mail campaign, doing an open house. There's no wrong way to do it. But what we understood and what this group really got yesterday was you've got to be doing it on a consistent basis every single day, because we need way more leads today, way more buyers, way more sellers today to get the results that we used to get in the past. So the one thing I emphasized to the group was, I know you're doing all these different campaigns and all these different activities. The one thing I want to stress is make sure you reach out to your past clients in Sphere. 5, 6, 8 contacts a day, every day between now and say the end of November. That'll go a long way for you, because in the month of December, I'm going to ask you again to call them all and say happy holidays, happy new year, hope you guys have a great, holiday break, etc. But between October and November, we want to be aggressively calling our past clients in Sphere, reaching out, engaging, connecting, finding those referral opportunities, finding out who are the people that they know that we need to help. So that was the first thing. Second thing is, I said to the group, if you really want to get prepared and ready for 2010, you want to make better decisions based upon the numbers. So I said to the group, do you know how many appointments you've gone on this year? Do you know how many listings you've taken this year? Do you know how many buyer brokerage agreement presentations you've had? How many signed? And how many of those buyers ultimately, bought a house from you? And how many of those escrows or pendings were you eventually able to close? So, in recognition of all these numbers, I was watching a lot of people look at me like I was some kind of, nut job. I'm like, you don't know your numbers? And I happened to turn to one of our clients who was in the room at the seminar, Letitia Hickson, and big shout out to her. Last year she sold 18 houses. She said, it was an okay year, kind of rough, went through some personal issues. We all deal with that. But she did 18 deals. She's at 46 sides closed and pending, 35 deals closed, 11 pending already. Certainly on pace to finish the year at probably 60 to 65 deals. I mean, phenomenal increase from last year to this year. And what was interesting is she knows all of her numbers. She knows how many appointments she's gone on. She knows the percentage of deals that she's done directly from her open house activities. See, she understands her numbers, and once you have that, you can make better decisions about what you want to do moving forward. So the two things I want to stress to you. First, contact your past clients in Sphere. Engage with the people that already know you, that understand your woofie, your brand, everything that you're about. They already know you, they already like you, they already love you. Engage with them. And by the way, don't start at the A's, start at the Z's. Start at the bottom of your list and work your way up so you really talk to the people you haven't talked to in a while. And then secondly, make sure you get present to the numbers. And if you need assistance on that, contact the office and say, give me, what are all the different numbers I should be tracking? We can help you with that pretty quickly. The last thing I want to say to you, coming up in November on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I'm so fired up about this event. The program's called Design the Decade Ahead. And a lot of it has to do with the stuff that I'm working on in my book. A lot of it is about what I call the over lifestyle underperformed decade, which is how I kind of view the last 10 years for many of the people that I'm talking to all day, every day across the US and Canada, and Australia, New Zealand, and Africa, and every place else. Everybody's kind of saying the same thing. I made a lot of money, but I seem to have spent a lot of that money too. And then maybe the last couple years, we were really shaken up by the market. Now, when all that happens, what happens to the individual? You and I and all of us, we become uncertain. And the moment we become uncertain, we're no longer connected to our source. We're no longer connected to the things that give us the power. When we are uncertain, we're not making good decisions, sound decisions about our life. We have a tendency just to be, what I would say, a little resigned, holding back, not moving forward powerfully, which is why this event is so important. See, during the Design the Decade Ahead, what are we going to do? We're going to wipe the slate clean of what's happened in the last 10 years. We're going to get us to a place of even, zero, so then we can begin to design how we want it to be. And not just in 2010, but like as I said to the group yesterday, which got a lot of them fired up, I said, I can show you how by making $100,000 in 2010, and with one simple formula that I'm going to give them, show them how they can take that $100,000 and within 10 years make $3.5 million total over the decade. $3.5 million in income. I said, would that resolve some of your financial issues if you made $3.5 million over the next 10 years, and this time, knowing what you know, saved more, invested more, did more of the right things with your money? Of course, the answer was yes, and we got an enormous response from that. So, I know somewhere on my website, if you're on my website, you go back to my website, whatever, there's an information tab on that Design the Decade Ahead event. I want to challenge you, I want to encourage you, I want to inspire you. Come spend 3 days with me. Let's share that time together. You've been watching these videos forever, and if you're not one of our regular coaching clients, or someone sent you this video and they were fired up about it and talking about calling their past clients and getting their numbers together, and maybe they want to do that with you, the two of you should join us. November 3rd, 4th, and 5th, beautiful La Jolla, California. I promise you, you will create a very powerful future to live into. A very powerful future to live into, and you'll know step by step exactly what you have to do to get there. Join me. I think we'll have a lot of fun. Thanks for watching this video. I look forward to talking to you on Friday. Remember always, your strategy matters and your passion rules.